Okay, welcome back. I am going to show you today how to use something called a div that creates a way to section off an HTML document. So I'm going to show you how to make this red square that's in the exercises associated with this lesson. So I'm going to show you how to make this red box right here. All right. So I start with an untitled project. Let me actually call it div exercises. Actually, you guys are going to start with a remake. So you're going to already see like some information here, but I'm just going to show you how to do it from scratch. So I want to make this thing called a div. Now a div again is just a container that creates like a section on an HTML document. I'm going to call it red. Okay. So not only did I make a div, but I named it using the ID property. I named it red. So in my CSS right now, I can't really see anything right now, but if I start to style this container by using hashtag red, like this, I could say background color is red, okay? And I can say, so I still don't see anything right here. Let me see if okay. I can say width, like I think it's 70 pixels, like that. And I can say height with 70 pixels. Okay, so I can, so automatically, so it starts popping out right here. Now, by default, if I use another div item, right, so you'll see there's nothing really in this. Like there's nothing that if I start typing in it, it will start typing in the box, but I don't need to do that. And a lot of this stuff on the exercises, some of it has content in the center of it, and some of it doesn't, like this red box. So that's essentially how I created the red box there, is I created a divider, so div for divider, and I named it something, and then I went into the CSS and styled it out. Okay, and that's how you're going to do this assignment. Now, I'll give you a little hint about how to do the next one. If you want to create content that's in the middle of your container, you have to, and so this one has a container within a container. So this green one's a div container, and this blue one is a paragraph container. Okay, so you see that the paragraph container is styled a little differently than the div container. All right, and you can do that by putting it simply right in the center here. So I can add a paragraph tag here and write some stuff in here. But what I want to do is I want to put an ID on my paragraph tag that's like green or blue, I think. I can't remember what it is. You'll see this. You're going to start with a remix, and that will help you figure out. So when I go to my template that I gave you guys access to, it should have a lot of these things. So I already have the div IDs in it. Now what you have to do is you have to go into your CSS and style it, okay? One more thing I wanted to show you was how to use, so on level 2 you have to use something called a span. Now a span's a little different than a div because it won't do a width and a height unless you, let's see, what did I do here? Let me take this out. So what I want to do is I don't need my closing. Okay. If I use a span ID is equal to, let's say, green, blue, which, let me just see if that's, don't use any spaces in these IDs. That's one thing that you have to know. Don't use any spaces or else it will have a problem in the CSS. So here, these are span IDs because they can be right next to each other. Div IDs, as soon as you put them in, they're block elements, so the next div ID, or the next div, will begin on a new line. Okay, so that's something that's really important to understand. These are created with span. I think that's what I called them there. So if I copy that, paste it into here, it creates something underneath right here. And if I did a few of them, you'll see that they locate right next to each other, right? Because they're not block elements. They can start, they're inline elements. They can start right next to each other. So the second level has these inline elements. And then the third level just requires you can see the bigger one here, it requires you to have different borders. And you can look that up with, you want to do border types CSS, and that will help you. All right, and that's it.